Hi everyone, welcome back. In today's video we'll be talking about the Soundpeats H3, a TWS pricing at around $150 or $149.99. Yeah, it's 150. Before we get started, a big thanks to Soundpeats for sending the TWS in for review. But as always, this review will be 100% my honest opinion. Also, before I get started, usually there's this one commenters, hecklers, whatever. Yeah, that's it. Where is the B-roll shot? Where is this? Where is the cool angle and stuff? No, you won't find it here. But if you want honesty, I can give you that in this channel. Okay, let's start with the box itself. In front of the box, we can see the product picture. High-res audio wireless. This is super important. And Snapdragon sound and LDAC logo. On the back, there's your specification. Okay, let's unbox this thing. Okay, this box is held by a magnet, and boom, this is your document and accessories. And then this is the TWS case. Inside of the case, obviously the TWS itself. For the unboxing experience, it's okay, nothing special. So inside of this box we get stickers. Also, look at this, it's kinda cute in a way. Ha, bruh. A user guide, Soundpeats audio application card, extra silicone ear tips that I don't even bother to open because the included one that pre-installed from the factory kinda work very well for my ears. And then kinda useless short USB cable, to be honest, but yeah, anyway. Okay, and obviously you get the TWS itself. Okay, now let's talk about the build quality and comfort. For the case, like this one, this outer case, it feels slightly, to be quite frank, at 150, the gold accent kinda feels a bit cheap, but it is what it is. But my main nitpick, my main gripe is that this kinda, transparent plastic versus daily object, like, yeah, sure, at first, like when you first purchase it, it looks just really nice, but over time this will collect hairline scratches. Like, yeah, it's just kinda, I don't know, maybe my Asian mentality or something, that trying to keep everything without any wear and tear. Bruh. Also in the front of the case there's LED indicator. Also, I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up, but oh yeah, here it is. Here the difference. Okay, for the case, my only main gripe is this kinda, well, yes, and this transparent one. Anyway, also this is used for resetting and pairing. This is a button, you can click this. And the build quality of the TWS itself, it's actually quite nice. Also on the web itself, they didn't specify if this is resin or plastic, or I'm not sure. All I know is that this is IPX5 rated. They marketed this as sweat and rain resistant, and as you can see, the TWS or the unit, IM unit itself, it's quite chunky because they uses 12mm dynamic driver with zero mentioning of what the material or the coating, and a dual balance armature that maybe this is the dual balance armature. I don't know, the camera is just really nice, haha. Yes, this is the balance armature. And I believe this is the battery. Oh, also, this surface is touch sensitive, so yeah, you get your control. Like if you actually read the user guide right here, there, control. So for the overall specs, as I said earlier, this one uses 12mm dynamic driver and dual BA, and the H3 supports SBC, AAC, LDAC, aptX, aptX adaptive, aptX lossless, and is using Bluetooth version 5.4. The H3 rated for around 7 hours of playback time. I believe it's with AAC codec or something, and normal mode without any ANC and transparency on. And yes, the H3 supports those features. With the case, the total playback time, I also believe this is rated with the AAC and normal mode for 37 hours. Also, they marketed the H3 uses 6 high sensitivity mics for noise control and crystal clear calls, but for the call quality itself, it's not exactly crystal clear, but well, it's fine. Not exactly crystal clear, but it's fine. At least the one that I call said that they have zero issues to hear my voice, so that's good enough for me. At least you can use it for calls. Okay, so what is the features? First, the IPX5, ANC, transparency mode. They also have gaming mode, kinda. To be quite honest, with LDAC, I'm not sure with aptX, but with LDAC, the gaming mode is still kinda. I still notice the lag between, like the synchronization between audio versus video. Well, not video, but versus the graphic game. I still notice the lag. Also, the other features they have is the Snapdragon sound, only available if you use compatible Snapdragon devices, which is sadly, I use a MediaTek because Poco M6 Pro budget phone, haha, too bad I cannot test the Snapdragon sound. But maybe, just maybe, if you use like flagship Snapdragon mobile phone and use the gaming mode there, and use the aptX adaptive, maybe the lag with gaming mode is very minimal with Snapdragon sound, but I'm not sure. Also, they have the companion app, the Beats Audio. Where is the card? This one, the Beats Audio. With this, you can set EQ, set Bluetooth codec, firmware updates, and much more. Also for EQ, they have presets and you can set your own custom EQ, which is very nice. But with stock EQ, I found the sound to be actually nice. Let's talk about the sound later. So, for the ANC, it has 4 modes: adaptive, indoor, outdoor, and traffic mode. For me, I found using the adaptive mode to be more convenient because, well, obviously I don't have to change between indoor, outdoor, traffic, whatever. Yeah, so yes, I only use the adaptive mode, but if you really want to tune in your ANC, the option is there. Also, the ANC is actually quite good for 150. The claim is that the ANC can reduce up to 55 dB of noise. Also, I think the claim kinda true because I'm not sure. All I can say is that I tested this using my speakers in my room. I set a loud music and turn on the ANC. I can barely hear the music, and the ANC itself is kinda comfortable to use. It's not having any weird, like, usually a cheap TWS or like well, not cheap TWS, but more like a bad implementation of ANC usually causes some kind of pressure in your ears, but this one is free from pressure and it works really well, which is very nice. While the transparency mode, it has two modes, standard and voice enhancements. As the name implies, the voice enhancements makes the transparency to be more focused towards voice. It seems like they put some EQ on the mid-range of the transparency with the voice enhancement settings because I can hear voice more clearly while listening to the music, but sadly they don't have like a mix between, you know, like those Samsung, and I believe Samsung has it. Like basically what I'm trying to say is that with the Soundpeats H3, you cannot set how many transparency or noise to pass through from the TWS to your ears. So it's just on or off. That's it. Without further ado, let's talk about the sound. The sound, spoiler alert, I prefer this compared to buds from Samsung and AirPods from Apple. This is really nice. Okay, I am getting ahead of myself. The setup I use is obviously the Soundpeats H3 with stock ear tips and stock EQ. The music I use is from Apple Music, covering J-pop, rock, EDM, metal, jazz, and rap. My first impression with this TWS is that this thing sounds warm, cozy, with nice rumbly bass, and the general tonality I would describe this to be your typical meta tuning, you know, those recent releases, basically Harman inspired but tweaked. This one I believe is Soundpeats' take on it. It has a very nice bass shelf, slight dip on the transition between upper bass and lower mid-range, and a relaxed upper mid-range and a mid-treble region. The bass sounds rumbly, and one thing comes to my mind, it sounds like the bass is hugging you? If that even makes any sense, but it has a nice deep extension with slightly slower transients and decay, but it sounds nice. The mid-range, it sounds forward but relaxed. I really love listening to MGK, the rock sad boy genre one, not the rap one, with the TWS. His voice sounds extremely nice and not annoying. Also, don't judge me. Yeah, I listen to MGK. And this TWS has zero metallic timbre, which is very nice. That means the balance armature they use is kinda high quality. Let me see, can I even see the brand of the balance armature? No, I cannot see the brand. Yes, at least the balance armature sounds natural in this TWS. As for the treble, it sounds relaxed, just enough air to make it not sound boring and dull. So if you're a fan of sparkly treble, maybe just use the app and activate the treble boost setting, because there are a lots of pre-made and you can custom your own EQ, which is very nice. So yeah, download the apps. As for the technicalities, for 150, the technicalities I would say it's very good for a TWS. The stage is medium size for 150. It definitely still has this in your head presentation, but one thing I really notice is that the sound that comes from the H3, especially while listening to music, it sounds like the stage is really enveloping you, like it's hugging you, and I don't know if that makes any sense at all or not. And because of that, the imaging, surprisingly, for 150, a TWS can present holographic imaging. Like, huh? What? Yeah, man, this is really nice. I love the fact that the stage is, yeah, sure, it's not huge, but it's really enveloping you, and then the layering is really nice, and because of that, the imaging is, yeah, I don't know, I'm speechless. 150. The only gripe for 150, the case, bruh. Okay, continuing. Separation and positioning, good. I have zero issues. In fact, the positioning of the H3 is quite nice. It sounds sharp, not tonally, but like the context of positioning. The positioning is sharp. I can pinpoint the sound source easily, and for detail retrieval, it's decent. Definitely not the strong point of the H3. It has enough detail to make things sounds not boring, but this TWS is not a detail monster. So for comparison, I will compare this to the Apple AirPods Pro 2. I choose this compared to the Pro 2. I am not sure about the Pro 3 because I am no longer using Apple device. At least with the AirPods Pro 2 versus H3, the H3 easily beats the AirPods Pro 2 in all aspects except one aspect. That is call quality. AirPods call quality is undoubtedly very good. While with the H3 it's just, yeah, okay, I can use this for communication like phone calls or Discord calls, and that's it. While the AirPods Pro 2 is, yeah, you sound good with the AirPods Pro 2. So, the conclusion of this review. Yes, get this. Especially if you can find this on discount, it's like no-brainer. Especially if you, like, let's say, you're wondering what is holographic, what is holographic, what is imaging holographic. Yeah, I can easily recommend this if you want to know what is holographic. Like, this thing is like, oh my, bro, like, it's, yes, it's enveloping around you, and then the layering, and this is nice. Get this. The only gripe I can, yeah, as I said, is, I said this, I don't know, 3 times, 4 times, is just the fact that this gold accent looks quite cheap and plasticky, and then the fact that this thing is semi-transparent, meaning you will definitely notice hairline scratches over time. So, well, I just wish that Soundpeats make like an accessory or includes a case, like external case, leatherette, or simply a silicone one to just, yes. But if you don't mind your thing getting scratched, or you know, wear and tear and wear in general, just get this, because this thing for 150, a TWS have a holographic imaging, and it sounds nice. It's warm, nice, cozy, holographic, 150, very nice ANC. What else you want? Like, yeah, I can see the value in the 150. But guess what? Worse than wear and tear and hairline scratches, it's running from Self. I open a music mixing and mastering. Let's say you want to cover a certain song. You only have your vocal take and an instrument file of the song. No worries, I can mix and master it for you. Or if you have all the stems, like you record everything but you need mix engineer and mastering engineer, I can mix and master it for you. That's even better. That's actually easier for me to mix and master. Anyway, if you found this review helpful, leave a like, hit subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Okay, that's all from me for now. Thanks for sticking with me until the end. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.